Um, Hello again. This is Khalid Mustafa Ahmed, and I'm going to continue the discussion of kerberizing network file system version 4. In this session, I will show you how to install and to configure the 389 directory server to employ it on our kerberized network file system version 4, and how to use it for centralizing the creation and management of user and groups on our network, as well as for centralizing the AutoFS configuration to automatically mount the exported file system shares on our different client workstation. Okay, first we need to install the 389 directory server. We will do that on our server machine, media.khalid.ma.local, which we previously configured to run our KDC, Crony, and the NFS services as we seen before in the previous sessions. Also, this machine is configured to run our DNS bin 9 server, and I will prepare a separate session to show you how to configure the DNS bin 9 on your Linux system. First we need to install the packages. DNF install 389 directory server. And the package is already there, but we can use rpm query all grep 389 to let you see which packages I am already installed. Okay, I have already installed the admin 389 admin util and the admin server and 389 console doc and directory server main package, the 389 admin console and its doc, 389 DSGW, the 389 console, the directory server base, the directory server console and its libs. So this is the needed package for setting up the 389 directory server. And since we want to use simple authentication and security layer with our 389 directory server, we need also to install the Keros SSL and its available mechanisms that we will use with our 389 directory server SSL authentication. DNF install Keros SSL okay. Query all grep Keros and these are the package you need to install to use SASL authentication with the 389 directory server. You don't need the devil or GS2 or LDAP or NTLM or the SQL. We just need only these packages. Okay, now we need to run the setup script to configure and set up the 389 directory server on our machine. Setup ps admin pl. But first we need to see the available options from this setup script. And the most important thing here is the keep cache, the keep cache option, which tells the setup script to save everything we enter during setup operation in a text file under the temp dir, so we can review it later. Okay, I will use it. And the first question you have to answer yes. This is some informational text about your system. Yes. The setup type, I will accept the default, which is the typical. This is a computer fully qualified domain name, which we are going to install our server on. Okay. This is about the user the server will use, the username, the 389 directory server will use when it's running, and the group. This question is about registering our software with an existing directory server. We don't have any, so we accept the default. This is about the admin user. You have to enter a password, suitable password here. And confirm it. Okay. This is about the domain, the administration domain. Okay, and the port, standard port, the server instance, and the suffix, the directory manager. Okay, you have to enter a password for the directory manager user. The administration port, and we are ready. Okay, let's now review the cache file. Last, and here is it with .inf extension. You have to encrypt this file and save it in a safe place, and delete it from the temp dir. because it contains all sensitive information you have entered during setup operation, like the password for the admin and the password for the directory manager and the like. Okay. Okay, now before going any further, we need to open TCP port number 389 and 636 and 9830 ports on our machine firewall. Since these ports are used by the LDAP client to connect to the 389 directory server. TCP port number 389 is used for the unencrypted connection. TCP port number 636 used by the TLS encrypted connection, and the 9830 is used by the console to connect to the admin server. And since I'm using IP table, here is the command you have to put to open these ports on the IP table firewall. I will hash it because I already did that before, and there is no need to enter this rule again. IP table A for added to the input chain in the filter table. Protocol TCP from source address our network 192 168.1.0 and net mask 24. Then I will use the multi-port module, for the ports 389, 636 and 9830, which are the ports we need to open. Then we need to use also the contract module, connection track, CT state new new double hash here, double dash here, C state new, and G accept. Okay. And here is my firewall rules, tables, table, filter, filter table, list input. Okay, and this is the rule for our C89 directory server, and if you like to display the port number, here's it. Okay, now we need to start or restart the DAR server and the admin server, and for that we need to use system ctl restart dir serve at media and dir serve admin and to check the status we need to use system status. Okay, and for the admin server it's running without any problem. And to start the services after reboot, you have to use system ctl enable dir serve target and dir serve admin. Okay, now let's run the console, the C89 console, to check our setup. C89 console. And here is it. And you have to enter the password which you have set during the setup operation. Okay, this is the 389 console. And this is for the directory server. Okay, and this is for the admin server. Okay, and as you can see, it's completely empty, except from some OUs or organizational units, for group, for people, for special, and this is the directory administrator. So if you want to edit some user on the directory server, you have to first fire up the directory server instance, and then go to the directory, click the directory tab, and then go to the people, right click, new user, and start entering the needed attributes. Here it could be Khalid, first name, last name, Hod, Mustafa, and username just Khalid. Forget about password, it will be pulled from the Kerber server. Email Khalid and the phone number, and you can enter any phone number. This is not my number. Enable POSIX UID. It's 1000. Home Khalid. This is a Linux user, so I have to enter the login shell and the home direct. Bash GCOS Khalid Mustafa. Okay, and we have the user created on our LDAP server. We can add many users as we wish, but I will show you how to do that using the LDIF and LDAP modify. Okay, so the server is running without any problem. Okay, and to double check that, we can use LDAP search, the LDAP search command with simple authentication. LDAP local and default port 389. Or you can use P389 if you wish. Biz DC. Remember, we have selected the suffix of that read during the setup operation, which will be Khalid MA DC local. DC mean domain component. I guess enough for this command. clear. $389. Okay. Here is a listing of our entire tree of our directory server. This is the base and the administrator is directory server, administrator, directory administrator, the common name, and the groups organizational units under Khalid immediate local, and same thing for people, for special user. Okay, everything is listed here, and this is the user which we have already added. It's about UID Khalid under OU people, comma DC Khalid Umair, comma DC local, with given name Khalid, surname Awad. Remember, we have just enter these attributes from the console, and this is the GCOS and the home dir, and login shell must be here. Yes, here is it. Okay, so the server is working normally. And nothing abnormal here. Okay, now if you plan to use secure connection with your directory server, you need to create a certificate for your directory server, and also if you want to use secure connection from your console to your admin server, you also need another certificate for the admin server. To let the client trust the server and the admin server certificates, these certificates must be signed by some certificate authority or CA that the client can trust. And for that, you have two options here. The first is to create a certificate signing request and send it to a well-known internationally trusted CA like Komodo, Semantics, and likes, and ask it to sign your server certificates. Then import both the signed server certificate and certificate authority into your server database. But you have to pay for that, or you can create your own self-signed CA and use it for signing your server certificate and the admin server certificate. Then tell the client just only to trust any certificate that have been signed by your self-signed CA. Personally, I will choose the second option since it is the more realistic one in our case, and also since we don't need to pay any fees to anybody. So let's go and create our self-signed CA. But being a CA means dealing with cryptographic pairs of private key and public certificates. Ideally, you should do that on a secure environment like desktop or laptop PC which is not connected to the internet, and I don't recommend generating any certificate directly on your server. I'm doing that here just for illustration purpose, but you shouldn't do that in real work. Okay. To do that, we need the certutil command, which is part of the NSS tools package. So let's check that the package already installed on our system, and if not, we can use the NF command to install it. Tools, and the package is already installed on our system. Okay. Now we need to create our self-signed CE. First, we need to create a directory for the database. There. It be signing. Let's change that to signing, and create a password file, a password text file that password dot text master signing CE. Okay. Must be read-write only by the root user. Change mode 600 passwords. Okay. And then you need to initialize the database with the cert util command with -n, and D to specify the database, where the database will be created, and F to specify the password file that will be used to unlock your keys, which at signing password text. Then press enter and database is created. Okay, let's now try to list the content of the database at the moment using cert util capital L D the database dir, and as you see it's completely empty since we don't yet created any certificate or added any certificate to this database. Okay, let's now create the private key and the self-signed CE, and for that we use cert util S capital S to create the certificate and added it to the database. Then you have to specify small k for the key type, which is RSA, and G for key size, and Z for the hash algorithm, SHA 512, S for the subject, according to RFC 1485, the subject must include a descriptive common name. Let be common name Khaled MACA CA, and organizational unit and organization of your choice. Since this is a self-signed CA, so you can use OU, like certificate authority section. It's up to you. Certificate authority section with organization certificates. Then you need to enter to specify the locality and the state. And since I'm living in Cairo, can type here Cairo, and the state also Cairo. And last thing is the 2-character country code, which is Egypt, EG for Egypt, and close the quotation, and close the quotation. Then you have to specify a nickname for this certificate. Also it must be enclosed in double quotation. This could be a suitable nickname. This will be used to refer to this certificate, Khaled MA CA, which is good. X to create a self-signed certificate. Then T, trust mode or trust level. This certificate will be used to issue or sign server and client certificates. So according to the manual page of the CertUtil, you have to use CT, comma, and close the quotation. Then you have to enter the validity period in months. 10 years is good, which is 120 months. You need also to add the basic constraint extension. Also according to the manual, you have to enter -2, and you have to specify, the last thing, you have to specify the database layer, which is signing. Okay, if you press enter now, you need to enter the password step before. Okay, we can refer to the password file by signing password and then press enter. Okay, now it is read from the password file. The utility asks you to continue typing until the progress meter full. Okay. Press enter. Is this a CA certificate? Yes. Past lens constraint, skip it. Is this a critical extension? Yes. And you are done. If now you try to list the content of the database, you will find this your CA inside the database. Cert util list and small d signing there. Yes, it is here, and the trust attribute is CT as you stated during the certificate creation. Okay. If you want more detailed listing, you can specify the nickname also on this listing command. And here is our CA, self-signed CA certificates. Okay. If you want to list your private key, you can also use cert util with capital K at this case and the database dir and the password file. And here is your private key. Okay, now we want to create an ASCII format from our CA certificate, and for that we need to get the nickname first, and for that we need to use cert util list d signing, then added the nickname, then use dash a and direct the output to our home dir. And give it a suitable name like CA cert.pem. Okay. Then we have, since it's created using the root account, we need to change on for this newly created CA cert file to be owned by the normal user, so that it can be imported very easily into the 389 directory server database. So for that you have to use change on Khalid in this file. You double check. Okay, it's owned by Khalid now. Next we need to import this our self-signed CA into the 389 directory server database, and want also to create a certificate signing request for the directory server. And for that we need to fire the console 389 console. Okay, and login with directory manager. Double click the directory server and select task and manage certificate. Here we need to create a password for the 389 directory server database, just like we did before with when creating the master CA certificate. Every time you added a certificate or modify the trust mode or managing anything within this directory server database, you have to enter this password, so you have to remember it very well. Okay, okay. First, we can import our CA cert. Browse to our home, and here is it. Open, next, 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 done, and it is imported. Now we need to create the certificate signing request for this 389 directory server. So we click the server cert, then request. Okay, request certificate manually. The server name is very important. You have to enter the fully qualified domain name for this machine, which is media.khalidma.local. This is an optional attribute, the organization. It could be Khalid MA, and this is also local city Cairo, country Egypt, and this is also could be Cairo. Next, RSA key size 4096, and signing algorithm could be SHA 512. Then next, as I told you before, you have to enter the password you just created now for this database. This is to unlock the private key. Next. Okay, save to a file. Also in our home, normal user home dir. This could be media directory server cert.csr, because this is not a certificate but a certificate signing request, and save. Done. Close, close, close. Okay, here is it. Now we need to sign this request with our self-signed CA and then import it again into the directory server database. And for that we have to use cert util, this time with cert util with capital C, and you have to add a serial number for this certificate. Could be 1 then the input file which is the signing request at home Khalid media. Okay. The validity period 100 months seems to be good. And the issuer, the nickname of our self-signed CA, which is Khalid ME.ca. Dash A and signing dir. You need also to specify the extended key usage by adding -6 according to the man page from certutil, and then the output file at our home dir. This is the actual certificate for our C89 directory server. So it could be also media directory server cert.pem. Okay. For this you have to respond to 0, because we can use this certificate for server OS and also for client OS. And then any other number to quit. Is this a critical extension? Yes. Enter password. Yes, the password for the master self-signed, our self-signed CE, which if you remember, we have saved this password in a file, so you can break the command and then again refer to our password file, password, so 0 1 again, then 9, yes, and you are done. Now if you list your home dir, you will find the PEM file, which is the directory server certificate. Now we can go and fire the C89 console and login manager 8123. okay, then double click directory, tasks, manage certificates. Okay, this time we will select the server cert and install. In this local file, browse. Where is it? Media. This is the request, but this is the signed certificate for this server. Open. Next. Yeah, I will tell you why. Because we don't change the ownership. Okay. Change own Khaled. That's it. Okay, here's it. Open. Next. Yes, if you click the detail, you can find the detailed information about this certificate, which issued by Khaled MACA, and it is valid for 10, yeah, not 8 or 9 years. The locality is Cairo, the country EG, fingerprint, signature, algorithm, public key. Okay. Next, I will accept the default name. Then you have to enter the password for the 389 directory server database. Then done, and now we successfully imported the server certificate inside our 389 directory server. And also we have in the previous step successfully imported our CA, or the certificate authority. If we click edit trust, we can change the trust mode, but I suggest you to leave it as it in accepting connection from a client, making connection to other server. Okay. I guess that's enough for this session, and let's continue the explanation of this interesting topic in the upcoming sessions. So keep following. Thank you for watching, and bye.